Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's show we'll be doing a review for Drayton Manor Theme Park, which is in the UK. Let's start off as always with the positives, and one of the main positives of Drayton Manor is its excellent selection of thrill rides. We're going to start off with Apocalypse, which is an Intamin drop tower which opened in 2000. This has both a sit down and standing up options, both of which are really good fun. It's quite possibly one of the best drop towers I've ever been on. It may not be particularly high at 177 foot, but it packs one hell of a punch. It is just a generally really good ride. It's pretty well themed, has a great atmosphere to it. Downside to it, when I was there, the operations for it were pretty awful, with pretty much one person loading both sides of the drop tower between sitting down and standing up, which meant that getting on it took a hell of a lot longer than it actually should have. It was a really frustrating and really poor way of going about it, seeing as you could just have had another staff member there and you'd have been queuing for about 5 minutes. It was a real bit of a kick in the teeth for Drayton Manor. I mean, I understand it was quite a quiet day when we were there, but that's not really acceptable in my mind. Moving on, we have Maelstrom, which is a Intamin gyro swing, which is again phenomenally good. It has pretty much everything you can need. It's forceful, it's pretty intense, you get a lot of airtime, a lot of hang time, it rotates around. It's a really good ride, which wouldn't surprise you, seeing as pretty much all of the thrill rides at this park are really good. Like the pirate ship, for example, the Bounty, which opened in 2007, is quite possibly the best pirate ship I've ever been on, which says a lot. The next major thrill ride in the park was manufactured by Zamperlo and opened in 2014. It is called Air Race, and it is a really fun kind of aeroplane ride with a great deal of inversions. You kind of just slightly skim the ground when you're rotating around. It's really good fun. Generally really good addition to the park, and completes what is effectively a really good thrill ride lineup at Drayton Manor. It's one of the really strong elements about this theme park. Another really strong element about it is their water ride. Stormforce 10 is quite possibly the best water ride I have been on. It has 3 drops, all of which are insanely different. There's a backwards drop which will get you soaked. There is a really large main drop which will also kind of get you quite soaked. It's just a really well themed, really interactive ride, which really is a soaker. Their Rapids ride is again really good. They have added quite a lot of new effects since I last went on it, which is really good. I mean, kind of always feel that rapid rides need to either have huge waves or effects to make them far more fun and viable. You want the possibility that you'll get a little bit wet on them, and Splash Canyon definitely does that. It is a really enjoyable ride and just generally a really good family ride, which you'll happily go on time and time again. Sadly, of their other major rides of note, the Haunting, which has recently been redone for this year, was unfortunately closed for maintenance, which is a bit of a shame, as I'd have quite liked to have gone on it. The Wild Rush Shootout, which is a pretty much laser indoor ride, is the most frustrating attraction they have at the park. It never seems to work for me. The guns, it could just be pure fluke that I've never happened to pick up a decent weapon which seems to actually register shots, but oh well. Moving on to some of their roller coasters, they have Shockwave, which is a stand-up Intamin roller coaster. I was absolutely phenomenally amazed that it was made by Intamin and not a P&M. I just couldn't quite believe that, but it's a really good fun. Shockwave and other stand-up roller coasters aren't tend to really liked by the rest of the population around the world. Not quite sure why. It's a really good fun ride. It's something really different. It's the only one in Europe, so they're not exactly common. And even though it's quite a short ride, when all the fact is just the 4 inversions pretty much after each other with a couple of turnarounds and a straight bit of track, it is really good fun. Then we have G-Force, and it's pretty much rubbish. It is uncomfortable. It has an airtime hill without any airtime. It has 3 really kind of poor inversions. It's not a particularly long ride. It has an awful throughput, as it only can run one train with like 12 seats on it. The queue line's quite good fun with the music they play. There's also some projectors and such in there, so it's something you will be entertained in the queue line, but not for long, not for how long it takes to load and unload this ride. It's just a really poor and uncomfortable ride by Microsoft. It's just not worth going on. After that we have Ben 10 Ultimate Mission, which is a really cool Vekoma boomerang coaster. It isn't a particularly long ride. It's pretty much made for kind of like families and kids, but it is really good fun. It has a fairly intense layout and such. You get some decent forces on it. It's really kind of cool. It's one of my favourite rides at the park actually. It's just a really cool little pocket roller coaster they have, which really does just add something to the experience. It's great. And that, overall really enjoyable. Hopefully they'll be building some new rides and attractions sooner or later, but they have a great selection of thrill rides and a really good roller coaster in Shockwave. Right, hopefully you have enjoyed the review, and I will catch you later.